And this was an effort that started back in 2013 when we looked at the need for the company to build a facility that would double the world's production of lithium-ion batteries at the time, because that's what we needed to do to get 500,000 electric cars a year to help start making a difference in accelerating our transition to sustainable energy. And as we were going to start doing this, we would grow really fast. But also, as we grow really fast, how do we grow for the long term in our communities and really think about annual pipelines across all areas of the company? So partnering with our schools, our community colleges, our universities, and building that out. And then the other component was, as part of Tesla coming to Nevada, there's an article or two written about that, we know, but there's also a component around education. And as part of Tesla's agreement with the state, we committed to invest $37.5 million over 5 years, starting last year. And it's funny, I remember prior to being at Tesla, but reading about this journey that the company was about to start with Nevada, and just being like, wow, that's really interesting. It's kind of different. I wonder what they're going to do with that. And so fast forward a few years, it's really exciting to have been on that journey with the company, and that's really what started what we're here today to talk about. And so this was a journey that began when we started thinking about the research and what ways could we impact and have the most positive impact with this education investment, and really think about it a bit differently. You know, from a first principles perspective, we talk a lot about at the company. And so we started driving around and meeting with teachers, meeting with students, and we started to see something really special, and we met with companies doing incredible work here like Switch, and going out and meeting with students, and we started to meet this crew, and this is all competitive robotics students in Nevada who have been here for years, who have been a part of this journey. And what we started seeing was, then we go around to Tesla Gigafactory or any of our facilities, and we would ask our teams, hey, what made you be an engineer? What made you decide to study STEM or STEAM? And what we would hear over and over again is, oh, well, I was in this program in middle school, and I got to build things, and that put me into competitive robotics, and it just became over and over again. And then, when we meet these students, we're absolutely inspired. And some of the best robotics teams in the world are right here in Nevada. That's one, Cimarron Memorial High School. If you guys know them, they're the best. And we started learning so much from the students. And then you dive in, and really the numbers speak for themselves. Like it is clear as day. You have students that are twice as likely to go into these new Nevada fields and really dive in and take that leap. And if you build the programs, with diversity from the start, you see that carry through in students choosing to study STEM, STEAM fields from diverse backgrounds. And that's something that's really special. And just one more shout out, I'm going to go back. That team in the middle is at a Title I school in Nevada, one of the best programs in the world, and is 50% male, 50% female. And so diversity is possible in these programs. And we were like, man, this is amazing. Like, how do we bring this opportunity for robotics education that really drives, these new Nevada skills across all areas of our workforce, to every student, to every school in Nevada, and give this access. And so started working with our companies here, and brainstorming, well, what would we need? And because that's a big, it could go a million different ways. And so we really tried to focus it in 4 areas. And we said, okay, well, we need the best programs in the world, both homegrown nonprofits here in Nevada, as well as international nonprofits. We need them to have a permanent footprint here in our state. We need to create new teacher development programs that empower our educators to bring this type of new experiences to students. And then we need to create community spaces where both teachers and students feel confident getting hands-on, building things, and making things. And really, these become incredible magnets for the rest of the community. That one in the middle that I can't stop referring to. I mean, they have 30 schools that go and visit their robotics lab. So how do we get 10 of those across the state? And then how do we not just think that this is naturally going to happen, but make that direct pipeline to employment? How do we get all of our businesses of all sizes thinking about that direct correlation to the workforce? Because if you go and meet one of these high school students, you're going to try to hire them, before they start college. And we've gotten to do that, and that's really exciting, but that's a whole other rant. And this became a really, really exciting opportunity, but it's going to take a lot of work. And it's not something that you ever want to do on an island. And so we immediately started talking to our partners in education from career and tech ed at our school districts across the state, as well as our higher education institutions, and really sharing out, well, how do we make these direct connections and make this something that the community creates a unified vision and gets excited about? This has nothing to do with one company or one group. This is a collective. And if we can build the infrastructure we're talking about in these 4 areas and build a foundation with a small group, then we can leverage that to create access for businesses of all sizes. So a 6-person business can get the same leverage as a 6,000-person business. And that's where we can really create impact. Thank you, Siri. And then, this just became something, and we said, well, okay, we gotta build a place for it, and we gotta make this thing a thing. And so we started talking about, okay, well, let's create NevadaRobotics.org. Let's create an initiative with our partners, and we have 2 of our really special partners that have come on and help found this thing together, and that's what we're really excited about. And as this continues to build, we're constantly changing and iterating and building this input, and that's where Rebecca has come in and really started to move this initiative into a direction where this scales out businesses of all sizes.
So I work for Nevada Gold Mines, and I lead our corporate and community affairs. And what that means is I have the responsibility to make sure that we spend our money in community investment that contributes to the communities where we operate now and into the future. Anybody who's been around mining has seen, known, or lived the boom bust. So things thrive, and then the mineral runs out, and things get boarded up, and things sort of slink into that bust, right? And then people move away, and it's a horrible thing to see, experience, or go back and take note of. So the industry globally has contributed to this. And so the better of the companies, and I'm proud to say I work for one of those, is working to see that we don't do that again. And so the thing that keeps me up at night is, what can I do today that makes for a better tomorrow? Because while there is a lot of gold in them thar hills left in Nevada, and we plan to be here for a very long time, it will run out one day. So how do we make northeastern Nevada, where we have 7,000 employees, how do we make it a resilient, sustainable, thriving place beyond the life of the mine? That's what I get to think about with my team. So 43 days ago, the 2 largest gold mining companies in the world, Barrick and Newmont, decided to get together and become a joint venture called Nevada Gold Mines. So for all of you who've ever known Barrick or Newmont, in Nevada going forward, you'll hear Nevada Gold Mines. And we took our best assets, which are in Nevada, and joined them together. And so our CEO and their CEO, Barrick CEO and Newmont CEO, signed the paper, and then they said, now you, people down there, make it so. And I said, okay. So we've been working on it ever since. And working really hard, because both companies in their DNA have that sustainability piece. And so how do we, and the most exciting part for me as a practitioner is, how do we take the best of both and come out for the best of Nevada now and in the long term? So we have 5 buckets of areas where we work, and that's health, education, environment, cultural heritage, and economic development. That was a quiz. And so I have to think about, and my team thinks about, and we spend a lot of time thinking about how do we have the best impact. And we don't have the luxury of designing and developing programs. What's amazing is we don't have to, because there are nonprofits, there are education institutions, and there are other organizations that are focused. I mean, Tesla is focused very closely and in this area, in this space. And so Chris and I were overlapping in places, and Amelia, and I mean, so much energy. I was like, whatever they're doing is good. So we just started talking, and I started learning more about it. And then with the robotics, they both talked me into coming back from a vacation in Costa Rica a day early to go to the robotics competition in Las Vegas. I don't have children, so I don't have to go to soccer practice or football games or cheer practice or Girl Scouts or Boy Scouts or any of that stuff, and I'm happy about that. So to come back a day early from vacation to spend a Saturday watching robotics, I was like, this better be good. And I'll tell you what, it just blew my mind. So as an employer, when I'm looking to hire someone, I look for former military service and elite athletes. Why? Because they know how to be team players. They know how to watch each other's back. They know how to not want to spend time having a beer together, but how to do what they need to do on the field for a mutually agreed on goal. And so robotics is that. It is that. These kids learn how to be winners and losers and problem solvers and how to be diplomats and ambassadors and negotiators. So I don't know if you know this, but when they do the competitions, they compete in team. There are 6 teams on the ground, but there are 3 teams make up a team and then another 3 teams, and they compete. And you never know which team are going to be your teammates in the next round. So you can't be disparaging of anyone else. You have to scope out and understand what your weaknesses are and how do I find somebody who has those strengths so that we can team up. I mean, it's unbelievable, right? All of this is playing out in real time with these high school kids, and they're having a blast. And they're boys and they're girls and they're people of color, and there is everything there. And so I said, I'm in. What do we do? How can we participate? And he said, bring others with you. So this is great, and Amelia and I were talking about it. And what Nevada Gold Mines is going to do, and what we're building right now, is that we are a big beast, and we got a lot of dollars. We're 7,000 strong in northeastern Nevada. That's amazing, and we're going to make a ton of money in Nevada, and we're going to spend a ton of money in Nevada. And we spend a lot of money on stuff, and we spend a lot of money on services. And we are going to have our contractors starting to be good and active neighbors in the communities. So if you want to work with us, you need to give back. So if you're going to... So our suppliers are going to say, that's all well and good, Rebecca, but we don't have a fleet of people. Okay, it's not a fleet, but I do have an amazing team who is thinking about and looking into these programs. How are we going to do that? And so I'm going to say, we'll have done the vetting. Here are things you can contribute to and participate in that will make a difference. And NevadaRobotics.org is going to be one of them. So that led us to this. How do we make it that one of our small suppliers can participate at a level, whether they're 6 employees or 6,000? How can, and the other part was in talking to robotics teachers, or mentors, I should say, or coaches. We had a STEAM summit in Elko last year, and one of the teachers said, I think robotics is amazing, but it scares me to death. I don't know how to code, and I don't know what to do, and how do I contribute? And I mean, her eyes were big, and I said, don't worry. So it's this infrastructure with NevadaRobotics.org is, if I want to be involved, if I'm a funder or a donor, how can I be involved? If I'm a student and I live in rural Nevada and I don't want to play a sport, there isn't much else to do. They're small schools, they're on shoestring budgets. I don't want to play a sport, but I want to be part of a team. What I do is gaming, or I do think about writing code. How can I participate? You can get on NevadaRobotics.org, and if you're a student, you can click in and find out how to get a team started. How do you motivate that inside your school? And if you're that teacher and you say, I want to do this, I want to coach, but I don't know how to do it, you can go to a 4-day teacher training where they teach you and support you how to become a coach in your school and start a team. So this NevadaRobotics.org is really all the pieces of the puzzle coming together in ways that you can participate in at whatever level is relevant for you, which is super exciting. The last piece of that puzzle is, even with the 3 of us on this stage, we aren't the folks who design the kits, figure out the theme, how to tie the curriculums to them, build the competitions, all of that other stuff. But there are already 4 organizations in the state of Nevada doing this work, and they are doing it well. We are already building on a strong, solid foundation of organizations. So they're another piece to that puzzle. And then the cool part, back to that employment piece, that workforce development isn't just for Nevada Gold Mines. We need the next generation of healthcare providers, civil servants and regulators, even though we say we don't like regulators, we love them. And we need the next Nevada Museum of Art. We need those next generation of people. We need them to be innovators, creators, and problem solvers and critical thinkers. And these are the people who are going to hire them. These are the organizations in Nevada that are going to hire those kids in robotics today. So I'm super excited to be at the front end of this and building on the foundations and being part of this team, which is awesome. And we're very excited about the work because Amelia is going to drive the ship.
So just talking about collaboration and action, we wanted to show you some of the numbers of this first year, which we were very excited about. So we've trained hundreds of teachers from all across the state, impacted thousands of students, started hundreds of teams, and like Rebecca said, which I just love hearing her, by the way, because you get bit by the robot bug, I'm telling you. You don't know until you go, but it is highly impactful, which is why I will invite all of you interested funders to come to a robotics competition, hopefully in Reno soon. So it's been really impactful, but that collaboration is really to us creating a community. And so, like Rebecca said, we have teachers teaching teachers. We have students teaching teachers. That's my favorite part. Students teaching other students. And Craig Rosen's going to hate me for this. Never send another photo to Chris Riley because he will put it on every slide. But we've had a lot of fun doing it, too. And it's been creating this community. And we're talking about collaboration. And so there's and collaboration can mean a lot, right? And I don't think these guys give themselves enough credit. So I'm the nonprofit end, right? And so there's 2 ways we can collaborate. One has been the way that they collaborate with me, the person asking for the money to run the initiative. And some of you nonprofit leaders might cringe when I say this, but it is more than just writing a check and me doing a report and stuff. We've actually sometimes had weekly phone calls. There's the cringe, right? Sounds like a lot of work. But it isn't. It's not weekly phone calls because Chris wants to hear exactly what I'm doing, or Rebecca needs to know why this is happening. It's, how's it going? Can we help you? Is there anyone else that we can introduce you to? It's listening to me, and also respecting us as the experts in our area, right? Because I've definitely had funders that I'm like, why are you giving me the money? It sounds like you just want to do it yourself. So that true collaboration has been really impactful. Impactful, as you can see in some of these numbers. And this was the first year, you guys. We don't even have all the right people to the table yet. This is our pilot stumbling year. So I can't wait in a year from now, 5 years from now, what we can really tell you we can do, because this was a lot of issues, a lot of long days, a lot of long nights, but it's been great. And the other piece too is the collaboration. Sorry, the little clicker. The collaboration that these two have had, right? So what is Moon Ridge Group trying to do today? It's bringing these funders together, but this has been so impactful. You know, when we were just getting started and to see where we can go, it's amazing to have 2 organizations come together and collaborate together. I'm used to walking around with the sponsorship sheet saying, who wants exclusivity? Who wants to be the end-all, be-all of this program? And that's what I can sell. They're not about exclusivity. They're about collaboration, because they know collaboration together is what's going to make the impact for our community. And so that, to me, and look they're just like, yeah, that's what we do. Whoa, hold on. That is not what I see every day. And so that has been great. And like they said, they're trying to show me the way that other people can get involved, creating areas that any businesses can come to the table with them, with hundreds of thousands of dollars that they're putting in. If you're a mom and pop shop around the street and you can give $500, but you want to give your time and you want to be part of this, welcome to the community. You are sitting right next to us because this is what we believe in. And really, to us, it's about robotics. That's what we're into. And so that is our passion. But the stories and the impact that we get to have are in our Melanie Sanchez's, I should say. So Cimarron, what Chris mentioned, that world-renowned robotics group in Las Vegas. Melanie happened to stumble upon this group, and she liked it. She kind of found her niche. Everyone was very welcoming. Before you know it, she's graduating high school, and she is the president of this robotics group that World Round is like really well known. Like when they walk in the door at Worlds, everyone's like, respect, here is Cimarron.